Welcome everybody. We are going to start using Scratch in order to learn how to program. You're going to learn how to make fun little games, make interactive programs with your computer. You're going to be able to use Python, Scratch, maybe we'll move into Ruby and Lua as we continue on. But initially, I want you to just get the base concept of what we're doing. We are telling a computer what to do by talking in the computer's language. And we can do that because people have created languages that we can communicate with the computers with. So like, for instance, you might use English or Spanish or Mandarin or some other language to communicate with your friends and family. And when we have a story, if something cool happened to us at school or outside in the world and we want to share it, we have that information is sort of locked away in our mind and we can share that. We can tell that story. And now we can tell the computer how to do the same thing. We can tell the computer how to hold things in memory, how it can tell a story, how it can act upon those things. And we're going to work through all of that together. So first off, let's just start off with something real simple here. We have the Scratch cat. Right here, we have this cat, this kitty, and we want him to say hello. So if we look over here on the left side, instead of our Scratch app here, we have motion, which is up here, and then below that we have looks, which is what we want. We're going to say hello for 2 seconds. Now we can drag that over here and click it right there. And the reason we have this one, just in case I missed it, right up here, it's the top of events. We do that so that way we don't have to just click each block. When we click the flag, the entire series of connected blocks will run for us. It makes it easy, makes it nice. It allows the program to run all on its own. So we have, so make sure you go down to events, grab once this is clicked, drag it over, and then we'll go down to looks, and we'll say, hey, say hello for 2 seconds. So we'll go ahead and click our green flag, and he says hello, and then it disappears. Now we can change that. If we don't want it to be 2 seconds, we can say for 1 second, and we can run it then. And you can see it's much faster. We can also change that and make it 10 seconds. Now, I don't know if we want to do that, but we definitely can. Now, this cat will say hello for 10 seconds. Instead of 1 or 2, it'll be for 10 seconds. And then, of course, it'll disappear, and then we can move on. And there we go, it ends. So we'll switch that back to 2. 2 seemed pretty good for now, so we'll hold it at 2. Now that we have this cat that can say hello, let's have him ask what our name is, right? We want to know what is the name. So we can go over here, like whoever is creating this program, what is your name? You know, this cat wants to know it, we're going to get it. So now when we click the flag, this program will run and it will say hello for 2 seconds. Once that 2 seconds is over, we move to the next block. And this block will actually ask for a name. And it won't do anything until we enter a name. See, it says, and wait, we ask and wait. So we can hit the green flag, we say hello for 2 seconds, and then it's gonna pop up over there. Well, my name is Joe, so I'll put in Joe, and nothing happens. Because we didn't do anything with that information. All we said was, hey, what is your name? We get the name. Awesome, that's it. And that's the end of the story. It's like you walked up to someone, said, hey, my name's Joe, and you walked away, and that was the entire story, right? It went nowhere. We want to continue the story with another block. And so we can do that by, we go back up to looks, and we can take a look around, and we can say, well, what do we want to say? We're saying hello, and we say hello for 2 seconds. So let's say something else. We'll drag this down again, put it right there. And now that we have that, we can now do something with the information. But now you're probably asking, well, where is that information? Where did that information go? Well, it went right here into answer. Now you'll notice if I click answer, there we go, it says Joe. And that's because when it asked for my name, and I gave it my name, it saved that information into this little answer pill looking bubble. Essentially, this is the variable, basically the small piece of information that we want to be held into the program. We wanted to keep that information. We save that information. We save, could be whatever your name is, could be Rebecca or Mason, Sarah, Jill, whatever it is, Joe, that your name will be saved into answer. So now we can do something with answer. And that's pretty cool, but you might be thinking, well, I don't want to just repeat the name, because if we do that, we drag answer straight to say hello for 2 seconds. We run the program. It says hello, which is what we want. That's then it's my name again. We'll put Joe, and then it says Joe. That's all it does. Almost as awkward, once again, as walking up to someone saying, hey, my name is Joe, and then say Joe, and then you walk away. Almost just as awkward as just walking up saying, my name is Joe, and then turning off and then leaving, right? It's an awkward thing to do. So we want to do something more. Maybe have it be a little more communicative. We want it to say, hey, don't just say Joe. Be like, well, welcome to Scratch, or how's it going? Right? We want to carry the conversation on. So far, we have when this when this flag is clicked, the program runs. It will say hello right here. Once the 2 seconds is up, we say, okay, it's going to ask us for our name, and it'll wait till we enter our name. Once we do, and we can change that, by the way, but for now, we leave it. That name gets saved into answer, and we can use that answer and put it together with some other words that make it seem a little less odd than just repeating the name Joe. So at the moment, this thing just says hello, which is interesting. But if we go all the way down to operators, see all these colors, we go down to the green one, we see there's one over here that says join. Now that's kind of an interesting thing. We can take that, and if we just put it in there just like that and we run this program one more time, it'll say, hey, we want the name. I'll put Joe in there. We'll hit enter apple banana. So it took two different words and put them together. Well, that's starting to sound like something we can use, right? If we want this cat to say, welcome to Scratch, or hey, Joe, welcome to Scratch, well, we would have to join two different pieces of information together. Basically, apple and banana got put together into one text box. We see that over here. We're going to join apple and banana. We'll type of Joe one more time. And right there, we see apple banana. It's in one text box. So we can actually come over here. We could say, hey, welcome to Scratch. Or we'll just say, we'll just say welcome to Scratch. Welcome to Scratch. Scratch. Nice to meet you. And then it'll be our name. And so now we have this name that we have, which is saved right here in the answer. And we can do something with the answer. Because remember, we were asking the computer to say, hey, we want you to find out what our name is. And it'll do that. So it'll say hello. Then it'll ask for the name. That name gets saved right here into this little blue guy, this little blue bubble. And we take that blue bubble and we pop it right in there. Go just like that. Easy peasy. Now, when we run this program, you're going to see something a little different. Hello. What's your name? I'm going to say Joe. Welcome to Scratch. Nice to meet you, Joe. We'll actually put it there for an extra. We'll do 5 seconds so we can see it a little longer because it kind of went away really fast there. So it says hello. What's your name? We'll say Joe. Welcome to Scratch. Nice to meet you, Joe. Well, that's pretty awesome. So now we've told this program to say hello, to ask a question, to wait for a reply, to wait for some type of information. You're handing them the name. You give them your name, or whatever it is you typed in. It doesn't have to be your name. It could be anything. You could have put bacon bananas in there, and it would gladly just say, nice to meet you, bacon bananas, or, how's it going, wheels, or whatever you put in there. It's going to work, right? It doesn't know what your name is until you tell it. And once you tell it what your name is what we did right here, gets saved in the answer, and we can do something with that answer. And that's what's so cool, is we want to do something with the answer. So we can take it and say, okay, well, we want to combine, we want to say something. So we're going to put these two pieces of information, these two words together, right? Welcome to Scratch, nice to meet you. Make that uppercase if I can get over there. And then we're going to put our name behind it. We can take answer and just go right over there. Easy peasy. Now, when we click the flag, we have this little cat doing multiple things. We have it performing an action. We have it asking for input. And then we have it doing something with that input after it had already asked you for it. That's pretty cool. Now, the cool thing is as we put these little blocks together, I can actually show you what this looks like inside of Python. So if we go to Python, if we go over here, and you have to worry about all this, this is just a text editor. But just like we had with that cat, just like we had with the, we'll actually minimize this a little bit so you can see it. With the cat there, we had when clicked, we say hello for 2 seconds. We can actually just have this print out, just a small statement, say hello. And we're telling the computer, well, just like say, we're saying print. In Python, we use print instead of say, but it's the same thing. We can come over here. We can just run it. Actually, we make it a little easier. Just click run. And that will run it for us. And there we go. It says hello. Well, that's pretty cool. So instead of saying say hello for 2 seconds, we just say, hey, say hello. And then it goes off. Now, if we want to get someone's actual information, we can do that too. If we want to get, hey, what's your name? We can ask. We would actually have, much like we had with our answer, right? You can think of answer being the name itself because that's what we use. We have our answer, we ask for a name, and your name gets saved into answer, right? It gets saved into this little pill-shaped bubble. So when we look at this program, we can just say, hey, we're going to have a name, right? Because that's what we're asking for, a name. So we're asking for a first name. And then you can even put, if you want to, you can do first name if you want to. But we're going to ask for a name. And we're going to say, hey, we want input. Just like we did here. We said, hey, we're going to ask, what is your name? And we're going to wait. Ask what is the name, wait. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say, hey, it's going to be input. And it's going to be for the first name. So we're going to say, what is your name? Now, when this goes and this program runs, just like on this side where it says ask and wait, input does the same thing. Basically, all we want to know is the user is going to give us a name, and we're going to save that name right here into first name. So if I run this program again, you'll see it says right here, what is your name? So I'll say, oh, okay, well, it's Joe. And right at that point, Joe gets saved into first name. So once this is over, we say, your name is saved. And we'll actually put a little up arrow so that we see. So your name gets saved right there in first name. And it won't go away. You basically can't get away from this until you enter some type of information because it's waiting. Just like over here, we're going to ask, what is your name? And it's going to wait. Hey, over here, we're going to ask, what is your name? And we're going to wait. So it's a little different. It's not just saying, say hello. We're saying, hey, just print. Print out the word hello. We're not having to say, ask, what is your name? And wait. We're saying, hey, we're going to have a name, your name, the one who's doing this, which is so awesome and cool that you're getting into this. It's a very awesome field to get into that you can save your name into first name. Well, that's pretty cool. So whatever your name is, whatever you type when it asks will be saved into first name. And just like over here, where we were able to take that information and do something with it because we wanted to, we can actually take that information and do something with it in Python as well. See, we took it here, we said, welcome to Scratch, nice to meet you, and then the name. That's what we wanted. Well, we can do that over here too. And okay, now we have the first name, and it's been saved into first name. Now we can do something with it. Now, if we want to print and we want to do it a fancy style where we have it inside of the actual print statement, we put the letter F for fantastic, right? For formatting. But we can think of it as fantastic. We want this to be a fantastic line. So we'll put F there, and we can say, welcome to Python. And we can say, nice to meet you. Actually, we'll do it backwards. That's what we'll do. We'll say this. We'll say, nice to meet you, and we'll put in the name. Now remember, we took answer and we dragged it into the bubble. We took answer and the bubble. Answer, bubble. Answer, bubble. And so we did that so we could actually use the information that was saved so far in our program and showcase it. Use that information. That's what programming is. We ask for information and we store it in tiny variables such as this. We ask for information and then we store it in variables right here. So we ask, what is your name? And it gets saved right into first name. And now we could do something with that. Just like over here where we dragged answer right in, we can do something with it here. So we can do, if you look at your keyboard and you look at where the shift is, and right on mine it's right next to P. And you see it's the YUIOP, and then you have these curly brackets. Just like that. They look like little curly brackets. You'll see them. They're on the right side of the keyboard. Once you find those, you can actually type in, because remember, we said this is going to be a fantastic line. It's going to be a formatted, good line. We can take this first name, and we can put it right here. We could say, okay, well, we wanted to say, nice to meet you, first name. There we go. And we can use that information. Then we can say, welcome to Python. There we go. Pretty cool. So now we have this program doing the same thing as this program. We run this. It says, hello. What's your name? I'm going to say Joe. It's going to say, welcome to Scratch. Nice to meet you, Joe. Then I'm going to go over to Python, and I'm going to click this little run arrow right up here, run Python file. It'll run it for us. And we see it says, hey, hello, what is your name? Well, I'm going to say Joe. Nice to meet you, Joe. Welcome to Python. And with that, you guys are already rocking it, because now you've used 2 different ways to communicate with the computer, and now you're basically speaking machine code. You're telling the computer what to do and what it should be thinking about and how it should function, and that's what a program is. And you just created your first program, and you did it in Scratch over here, where we used, when we click the green flag, it'll run through, and you've done it in Python, which is awesome. From here, we'll continue to build upon what we've learned and continue to grow. But I think it's so awesome that you have created your first Python program, and now you can continue to build onto it. If you wanted to do something else, like, well, let's see, I want to add some sort of name, and that's what I want to do. So I'm going to add, let's or not a name. Let's say, a favorite color. Well, you can ask the same way you asked right here for a favorite color. You could do that same thing right here as well. In fact, I'm going to stop the video here, and I want you to try to have this Scratch program ask for your favorite color. And so we can erase this part, right? We'll get rid of that, and we'll just switch this to favorite color. And then we'll have you put something in here to say, hey, your favorite color is, and then run the program and see what it does. Once you do that, I want you to come over here to Python, if you can, and give that a try as well. And we'll go over both of those together in the next video. So looking forward to seeing you guys very soon. Keep rocking on, and I really hope you guys are excited about all the things you can learn about programming, learning to code, and communicating with your computer. More and more. So you guys have an awesome rest of the day.